first, he doesn't get an invitation, he runs a smear campaign. Then he does get the invitation. When he does get the invitation, he says he won't go. Right at the end, he says, okay, I'll go, because he had a motive. And when he gets there, that motive is not fulfilled. Then what he does? Friends, I'm Raja Faisal, and today I will be highlighting how embarrassing the situation was for Prime Minister Modi when he reaches to Canada. Before I tell you the whole embarrassing story about Prime Minister Modi, let me draw your attention towards why he's facing whole embarrassment right now. Well, this episode starts back in 22nd of April 2025 when an unfortunate incident takes place in Pahalgam. Without paying any heed to any investigation at all, Modi and his gunners started blasting towards Pakistan. They started shouting the same mantra, Pakistan is behind this terrorism. Pakistan is behind this terrorism. Whereas on the other side, Pakistan kept on offering itself and kept on saying, let's sit together, investigate this Pahalgam incident and come to the conclusion. And Pakistan said that we want a peaceful resolve. We don't want a war at all. Pakistan doesn't like war. But if somebody wants to push us towards the war, of course we will reciprocate. And the whole world was sitting back and watching it all. And then whatever happened in 4-day war in May 2025, the whole world knows about it. I don't need to repeat again and again. Post-war, May 2025, Pakistan has been hailed throughout the world. The reason being, Pakistan maintained that Pakistan believes in peaceful resolve. Pakistan believes in sitting on the table and resolving the matters, rather than taking up the guns and fighting each other. When comes the time of all-important G7 meetup, well, Modi doesn't get an invite because it was taking place in Canada and Canadian government had a huge pressure from the Sikh citizens. And don't forget, Sikh Canadians are very powerful and they had conducted an excellent Khalistan referendum back in days. Coming back to the invitation, well, he does get an invitation after they were running a smear campaign against Canada and G7. Suddenly, when they do get an invitation, they said, oh, we're not interested in attending it. But right at the end, somebody advised him that it would be better for India if you can be present in there, because G7 is a very important forum. When he gets there, whatever happens, well, it is another embarrassment. The sole reason Modi wanted to be at G7 was that he just wanted to meet President Trump. And guess what? President Trump left Canada just before Modi had reached there. You know why? Because he had some better things to do. And yes, he had to meet with Syed Munir, the Field Marshal from Pakistan, in Washington. That's why he left. Modi not finding President Trump at G7, he suddenly started meeting with whoever he encountered. And one of the meetings I actually saw was between him and President Macron from France. And my God, that hug and all the uncomfort was present on the face of President Macron. And then Modi found this as an opportunity to take some photos to take home, to show to his people that he was very busy there. That's it, he took some pictures and after that he boarded his plane once more and he went to Croatia. But before going to Croatia, something else happened, and that was that there was another statement coming from his office related to that he was invited to Washington, but he didn't want to go there because he already had a planned trip to go to Croatia, and that's why he had to leave Canada. So, he just tried to portray as if he is having the upper hand. And then there was another statement related to him having a call meeting with President Trump, and that lasted for 30 minutes, in which, of course, they claim that they have simply said to President Trump that you had nothing to do with whatever happened in May 2025 and how the war stopped. And he said it was all to do with Pakistan and India, and it was all to do with both of the militaries. Both of the militaries, they were actually in touch with each other, and the military operations, they were actually talking to each other, and they calmed this situation down, and America had no role to play, and President Trump had no role to play at all. Why he's saying that? Well, there is only one reason behind it, and that is that now they have noticed and now they have realized that the Kashmir issue, which they had put in the burner, put in somewhere nobody could find, and they never wanted any third country to be interfering in that, and they wanted to deal with Pakistan, whereas everyone knows that they have been taking the unilateral decisions since a long time, which Pakistan believes that it is against the resolutions of United Nations. And that is why when India came up with unilateral decision about abrogation of 370 and 35A, Pakistan protested. Then they are coming up with the decision to, of course, abrogate IWT, that is Indus Water Treaty. That too is a unilateral decision, whereas of course they can't take it. Reason being, the third party in it is the World Bank. Pakistan is the second party. Still they are taking the unilateral decision, and by now, of course, the intentions are clear from Pakistan side, and that is that any unilateral decision which would be taken about IWT, water is lifeline of Pakistan, we will consider it an act of war which will be retaliated. So this was the only reason that he kept on saying to President Trump that we don't need the third party. Whereas everyone knows that President Trump time and again highlighted that it was India that actually rushed towards Washington seeking a resolve, because they had no idea what to do when Pakistan was sending in barrages of missiles and they couldn't control it. And by the way, before Pakistan sent in missiles, they already had shot down 7 of their fighter jets, and 4 of them, they were Rafales. The very Rafales French gave them, and that is why it was very uncomforting hug Macron was having with Modi. The biggest reason behind it is that the producer of Rafales, the French company Dassault, is nearly bankrupting. Another embarrassing point was when Modi's team, the MEA spokesperson, was asked about why Indian generals are not invited to Washington, but the Pakistanis are, and this is what he had to say.
On the invitation part, I think I would urge you to be better informed as to who are the people who are invited. There are foreign leaders who have been invited or not. So please, I would urge you to look at what has been, take your question to the American side. They will be in a better position to answer it.
As Modi is facing very tough questions from his countrymen, he is coming up with these kind of statements. It's like we all, whenever someone says good thing about us, we always tag tweet and say, yes, I endorse you. Now you all know the dirty role played by Indian media during 4-day war in May 2025, the kind of smear campaign they were coming against Pakistan with, and the kind of fake news they were coming against Pakistan with. And you all know the way they were boasting about how they have conquered the whole Pakistan, and somehow martial law is being imposed in Pakistan, and somehow Prime Minister of Pakistan is hiding somewhere, nobody knows about it. And somehow all of the major cities of Pakistan, they have been captured by either Indian Navy or Indian Air Force or Indian military. And guess what? The cities that had no water access at all, not even next to a river, even they were being claimed that the Indian Navy, they have conquered them. I mean, there are some limits to stupidity. Furthermore, the same media, during Israel-Iran conflict, they are coming up with kind of statements and kind of news, the fake news they're coming up with is related to Pakistan, that Pakistan is assisting Iran. Pakistan is sending all of its missiles to Iran to fire on Israel. Well, this is all fake news. Pakistan stands with Iran because their territorial integrity was challenged by Israel. Guess what? No end to the Indian fakery. Now they are coming up with the latest fake news about Field Marshal Trump-Munir giving up the air bases, giving up the naval bases to the Americans to attack Iran. I mean, this is utter nonsense. And they're coming up with this fake news related to the recent meeting between both of the leaders. I mean, one might wonder something none of the pressers highlighted from Pakistan side and from the American side. How the hell Indian media knows about it? Well, that's what you call Srivastava Group. If you really want to know about the Indian fake news and Indian fake media, you need to go through a story related to EU Disinfo Lab. It wasn't done by Pakistan. It wasn't done by any of the Muslim countries. It was the EU Disinfo Lab that actually highlighted how fake news is being permitted and is being the national narrative of India. That is Srivastava Group. Sitting in New Delhi, they are running a nexus of fake media, of fake news channels, of fake news portals, and they keep on sending in and they keep on tunneling the barrages of fake news in there, and that gets endorsed by ANI, the premier news agency of India. I would recommend all of you to go through EU Disinfo Lab, their probe related to Indian media. At the end, all I can say is sometimes I feel sorry for Prime Minister Modi. He is facing hell load of embarrassment since May 2025. You know why? The world is very cruel. The world is very, very cruel. When it comes to the losers, world doesn't like them. Nobody likes to hug a loser. Everyone wants to stand next to the winners. That's why nobody wants to meet with Modi. That's why nobody wants to sit with Modi. And I feel sorry for him. That's it for today. I hope you liked my video. Subscribe this channel for more videos. Take very good care of yourself.